Starting an Amazon business that actually works probably isn't as expensive as you think. In this video, I'm going to break down how much money you actually need to start a legitimate Amazon business. We're going to cover everything from the Amazon account to the essential softwares to the funds that you need to actually start buying products. And all this information is based on the exact roadmap that I would follow if I had to start all over again after I've sold about $4 million on Amazon. So let's just go ahead and jump into the step-by-step process here. And I'm going to also break down how much it costs to do each step of the business as you're setting things up. So the first thing you need to do is obviously sign up for an Amazon seller account. So this is going to be sell.amazon.com. Then just click this sign up button right here. And right below that, you can see that this is the cost of owning an Amazon seller account, basically. What you want to keep in mind is that this is the cost for a professional Amazon seller account. If you're watching this video, you're probably serious enough to just go ahead and get the Amazon Seller Professional account. What that allows you to do is integrate different software into your Amazon account, which is going to help you grow faster. And it's also going to help you get ungated to sell name brand products on Amazon, as well as win the buy box more often than the individual sellers. You can start your business as an individual account. Just keep in mind that you're paying a $1 per unit fee as an extra fee. So especially if you're selling more than 40 units a month, it makes you money to switch to the professional account. And if you haven't already done this step of actually signing up for the Amazon seller account, I'd really recommend you get that done right now because it can take some time to get approval. Depending on your application, they might send you a postcard to your address to verify your address. They're also probably going to schedule a video interview with you where you basically just verify your identity, bring a driver's license, passport, that kind of thing. But getting the actual Amazon account set up and ready to go can take some time. So since you're watching this video and you're thinking about starting Amazon FBA, make sure you get this done ASAP. So far, we're spending $40 a month to get our Amazon business set up. And let's go ahead and start breaking down the actual software and tools that you need to go source the profitable products that you find, right? And we're going to do a little bit of a basic breakdown here for you as well. So what types of products can we even sell on Amazon, right? A lot of people kind of mess up when they first start selling on Amazon. They start with the hardest items to sell on Amazon, which are items that people aren't already buying. And so I've pulled up this example. It's just these little Puma shoes, right? And this is where our first paid software comes into play. This is our product research tool, SellerAmp. And what it allows us to do is source products in a couple different ways. It'll also do our numbers for us and a lot more that I'll break down here for you shortly. But SellerAmp is $20 a month. You can get a free trial down below. And this first use case that I want to show you is how you're going to be able to source products, right? So when I hit this Chrome extension button up here, it takes this title automatically off the web page for me, and then it punches that data into Amazon. And over here on the sidebar, you can see a lot of super useful information about the item that tells you whether or not you should look closer into the item or skip and try to find the next profitable item, right? For example, when I grab this Cool Cat 2.0, I see this pair of slides looks very similar to this pair of slides, and that takes me to this listing over here on Amazon. And looking at this listing over on Amazon, we can see that if we're buying these for $16 plus we have a 30% coupon, we're going to end up buying these for $11.20, and right now it sells on Amazon for about $28, which leaves us with a $6 profit. And so SellerAmp shows you all the basic stats that you need to know about an item, how much profit you're going to make. It's also going to show you the BSR. So this also shows up on the search tab over here. This BSR is the sales rank. In other words, the closer that number is to 1, the closer it is to the number 1 fastest selling item in that category. And typically anytime I see something under 100 to 150,000, that tells me that item can sell decently well. And SellerAmp will also go ahead and estimate the sales on an item. So it really takes a lot of the guesswork out for you to figure out if your items are actually going to sell or if you're buying into an item that's going to leave you just stuck holding inventory. And there's also tons more data on SellerAmp. I have a full free tutorial of all these different tools and all these methods that we'll look at briefly here in this video. So if anything's not making sense, keep clicking around through the channel and you'll find videos that break down anything you're wondering about. But another super important feature of SellerAmp, and this is probably the even more beginner friendly way to source your first few products to sell on Amazon, is the offers tab on SellerAmp down here, right? So this is showing me everyone that is currently selling the item, shows me their stock, their price, how much profit they're making at that price. And what we want to do when we're looking at this screen is just go ahead and open up one of the other sellers on this item, right? The fact that we found this on sale at Puma.com and we found it profitably on Amazon means that if we start looking at another seller's items, like this seller right here that was also on that listing, it means that we're probably going to be able to figure out where they bought their items from. And so we can basically use the products that other Amazon sellers already sell as a big leads list of items that we can go see if they're currently on sale back at Puma.com, for example, right? So what I like to do on these storefronts is, since we know we found a really good sale and a really good item at Puma.com, I would filter this storefront down to Puma, and then all we have to do is is start going through this list. And when we find something that we think could be on sale at Puma today, we just hit that Google button right there. And that's typically going to take us to the Puma listing, right? So in this example, we've got these slip-on cross trainers. And that takes me over here to this listing on Puma, which in this case, I think looks very similar. It's got like the little difference in the icon. So you could just take a little bit step further, right? So we know they have this version of the shoe. We can just plug it into the Puma website and see if they have that other version. In this example, I think we're looking at some versions that are like ever so slightly different. But the more products you click through using this reverse sourcing method, the easier it becomes for you to understand what products do well on Amazon, what products you can really find on sale all over the internet. And so between manual sourcing, where we're looking at a website like this, and reverse sourcing, where we're looking at good products that already sell on Amazon and then trying to find them on sale, using SellerAmp, you're really going to be able to power your sourcing. And there are tons of $100,000, $200,000 a month sellers who are sourcing exclusively using SellerAmp. So now that you have SellerAmp and the Amazon seller account, we're spending $60 a month. Let's break down the other paid product research tool you need, and then we'll talk about how much money you need for inventory. So on this example, I've just pulled up like a random Nike shoe, the type of stuff that people are buying a ton of on Amazon. And this is where I want to talk about the second research tool that you'll want to have. This one's called the Keepa. It's another $20 a month. So $80 a month is all the overhead that you need to have as a brand new Amazon seller. And the reason why Keepa is so important is it allows us to basically figure out how consistent our items are going to be over time. So on this example, we can zoom out to the full year here, and we can see the exact stock count over time. So we can see how many sellers were on the listing. We can see the prices. We can see tons and tons of data about this item. And just as another quick side note, you can actually see a lot of this data on the SellerAmp charts. If you're really trying to squeeze by, you could make do without Keepa, but where it becomes much more important to use is with some of the more advanced data points. For example, the data offers tab of Keepa is extremely valuable because it lets us see how fast items are actually selling in real time. So we can go to data offers, and this is showing me everyone who's selling the item currently. I could then toggle include historical offers, and now I have a huge list of literally everyone who's ever sold this item. And as we can see right here, I can see their exact price and stock count over time. So this is extremely useful if you're trying to figure out how fast things actually sell on Amazon. For example, right here, we can see this seller a few days ago, they had 18 units in stock. And then as soon as they dropped their price down to $80, they sold their 18 units within basically a couple days there, right? We can see the exact same pattern right here where this seller made the sales a little bit slower, but we can see them to have 35 in stock, and then they went all the way down to 15 now. So that shows me that multiple different sellers are selling 15, 20. We can see this guy over here sold about 70 units if we're looking at that stock count right there. So this data offers tab is super useful to validate if your item is actually going to sell. There's also a lot of data on the variations tab of Keepa that can help you understand if your item is actually going to sell. For example, we could grab the ASIN. That's basically like an Amazon specific kind of like UPC barcode number kind of thing. We could go ahead and paste that down here into the variations tab, and then we can see exactly how many ratings this particular variation has, which is a good way to infer sales by variation, right? Because this estimated sales number, this is split between all the different variations. So we typically need to have a little bit more data to go off of between the data offers tab and the variations tab to know when items are actually selling or when their counterparts might be the ones selling. Another really useful feature of Keepa is the ability to track your products. So let's say you have a really good source and you know where to find these shoes for $50 at any time. Obviously, since the price is $80 right now, we don't really want to make an 18% ROI. That's a little bit lower than I like to look for. But what we could do is we could go in here to Keepa and say, hey, whenever there is a $90 price, when I do make profit, say, hey, go right there, press 90. And then we can have Keepa send us an email anytime the buy box price of this item hits $90 or more, right? So basically we can start getting emails about our products where, since we probably know where to source them profitably, we can get those emails when the prices go way up, and then it becomes easier and easier to start sourcing products over time. So now between the seller account, Keepa, and SellerAmp, your Amazon business costs $80 a month, but now you need some money left over to buy products that you can actually sell in your store. So to illustrate how much money you actually need as an Amazon seller, I've pulled up a quick little revenue predictor basically, because I want to be very upfront with you and let you know that Amazon is a money intensive business. You have to buy products to make more money selling products, right? This is very much a spend more to make more type of business. If you don't have very much money at all, probably better for you to go start a service business or honestly just get a job until you have a good amount of money to start. But let me illustrate something with these numbers here, right? So let's say so far this year, you've sold about $20,000 in products. A typical breakdown for for a normal Amazon seller is that it would cost about $10,000 in products purchased for you to make that $20,000 in revenue, right? So about 2 to 1 is a typical revenue number. And so let's say your goal is really ambitious. You want to be selling $100,000 a month. That's extremely possible with Amazon. But looking at the rough numbers there, you'd be spending $50,000 a month or about $1,700 every single day on profitable inventory. And I don't say this to discourage you. My Amazon business does about $200,000 a month now. And I personally started my Amazon business with just $1,500. And all of that growth was just done by compounding the amount of money I was making on Amazon, right? So every single dollar that I made on Amazon for quite a while, I reinvested back into my business until I had enough to hit my awesome lofty goals like these $100,000, $200,000 a month numbers. And now, do I think you need $50,000 to start buying products? Absolutely not. I would really discourage you from spending $50,000 in your first month. It's just natural that you'll probably make a couple of mistakes. A comfortable number that I would like for you to have to start doing online arbitrage is about $1,000 to $2,000 to spend on products. A typical return on investment for an Amazon seller is going to be about 30%. So let's say you have $1,000. Every 1 to 2 months, you should be able to add that 30% on top. So if you had $1,000, a month or two later, you now have $1,300. And the biggest thing is that obviously your profit needs to be higher than that $80 a month overhead that you do have. So with that in mind, the idea of having 2,000 bucks is probably a little bit better. You could be making about $600 a month in profit with that startup goal. So it's a lot more approachable for your overhead to not be getting close to a third if you were making about $300 a month starting with 1,000. And if you're currently under that $1,000 to $2,000 mark, I definitely was around that range. Like I said, I had about $1,500 to start my business. So what I actually ended up doing, and you can still steal this, is I went to thrift stores, I went to yard sales, went to anywhere I could find cheap stuff. And for the first year of my business, I ended up just flipping used books, VCR players, anything that I could buy really cheap and flip on Amazon for way more. That ended up making me about $30,000 in profit after 1 year. It took me a ton of effort and I really regret doing that for as long as I did. So if you currently don't have too much money at all, do that, sell really cheap stuff, flip it on Facebook, Amazon, eBay, whatever you got to do. But as soon as you have a couple $1,000s, I would jump straight in with online arbitrage so you can start learning a skill that really scales in the long run, unlike driving around picking up cheap stuff. So if you're ready to dive deep into the world of Amazon and get the full step-by-step game plan to scaling your Amazon business, make sure you go ahead and get registered for our next free live masterclass in the link down below. Even if you're watching after April 24th, we do these every couple weeks. And these are some of my favorite nights because we put a ton of product sourcing information and a lot more that we typically don't share out on the internet for free. But if you come to the 2-hour live class, you're going to get a step-by-step game plan to follow, and you're going to know exactly how to go from $0 to $10,000 a month on Amazon. Again, if you want to come hang out with us on the class, the link is down below for free. But I really hope you found value in this video. You have a much better idea of what it's going to take for you to start and scale your Amazon business. If you did get value from this video, please feel free to subscribe down below, add some value to my business for helping you out. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, anything like that down below. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next time.